guys, Buckosh here, core design engineer with Brunswick Bowling, to talk to you today about a couple new releases in the Radical lineup, the Zing Pearl and the Bonus. The Zing Pearl comes with the same Zing asymmetrical core that was found on the original two. It has dynamic core for better hitting power and an undrilled differential of 0.051 and an intermediate diff of 0.020. Different on this version is it comes with the Forge 2 Pearl cover stock. Now remember, Forge 2 Solid was on the Conspiracy Solid and on the Zing Solid. And if you remember, the original Forge 2 Hybrid was on the Katana Slash. So this Zing Pearl is the first ball to have this Forge 2 Pearl version of this cover stock. It comes 500 1000 compound, which is the same treatment that the Zing Hybrid got. Every time we go through testing, one ball in a batch usually stands out as a front runner, and for me, that was this ball. From the mid lane to the pins, this one was really impressive, and it definitely reminded me more than the other balls in the Zing line of the original black and silver Katana. So people that love this ball will love this one as a replacement or a complement, because it certainly is more ball from the mid lane to the pins than that original Katana, but the shape reminds me a lot of it. Next up, we have the Bonus Solid. The Bonus is a brand new nameplate for the Radical lineup, and it comes with what we'll call the Bonus Symmetrical Core, because Radical doesn't really name their cores. It has an 0.30 differential, which is a very moderate flaring ball, and it also has dynamic core, so you know it's going to hit. Now, the Intel was a definite fan favorite for Radical bowlers for the ability to control and blend out over-under house shots, and to also control the pocket on tougher sport shots. And I even know that some Radical fans were stockpiling Intels when they found out that they were discontinued. Well, the good news is this Bonus nameplate is a replacement for the Intel series, both in price point and in performance target. So with the 0.30 differential of this ball, the flare potential is a little less, but it's definitely in the same category as the Intel, which had an 0.35 total differential. The difference here is that the Bonus is wrapped in the Forge Solid cover stock. Forge Solid, if you remember from my Zing Pearl spot, is the cover that was on the Zing Solid and also the original Black Conspiracy Solid. In some fashion or another, there might have been slight additive tweaks between the three of them, but the same base package for the most part. So you'll see that cover on this lower flaring core to give you a really unique and new look to the Radical lineup. This ball comes 500 2000 finished out of the gate, so it'll definitely start fairly early in the mid lane, despite the fact that it does not flare all that much, and it'll really continue smooth and strong on the back end. And from the mid lane to the pins, you will see more motion than you saw out of your Intel Solid. So I'm going to show you guys how these two new balls stack up on the hook chart. Here you see a comparison of all the Radical releases from January until now, with our two new releases highlighted in yellow. The Counterattack, Solid and Pearl are also on the chart because they're a fan favorite and a staple of the lower end of the Radical lineup. Now this chart is a little bit different than other hook charts that you're used to seeing, so I'm going to walk you through it briefly. On the bottom, on the x-axis, is the amount of oil volume that each release is intended to handle, from heaviest on the left to lightest on the right. And the y-axis is the one that's a little different. This is categories of ball motion, with the three main categories being smooth continuous on the bottom, angular back end in the middle, and early strong mid lane on the top. The two remaining categories bridge the gap between the three main categories of ball motion I just listed, with hard arc being the bridge between a smooth continuous motion and an angular back end, and a late strong mid lane being the bridge between an angular back end and an early strong mid lane. The Zing Pearl nests neatly between the medium and the medium heavy oil categories, just below the Zing Hybrid. It's in the angular back end category and has the most angular back end of any Radical ball in the current lineup. Compared to the results, the Zing is definitely a little cleaner down lane, and the results, with this TP1 textured pearl cover stock, digs a little harder in the mid lane and has a very continuous motion for asymmetrical balls, where the Zing Pearl has more of a traditional skid flip asymmetrical look. The Bonus is designed to handle a similar amount of total oil volume, but does so in a much different way. This is going to be a great benchmark ball for its characteristics of smoothness and continuation. It sits near the squash solid on the hook chart, but these motions are actually quite a bit different, with the bonus solid being less flaring, earlier reading, and smoother, and the squash solid, with its higher total differential but smoother cover, being longer and stronger on the back end. Always bear in mind you can get a variety of reactions with each ball depending on the layouts you choose. The layouts come in the box, and depending on what layout you choose, you can vary the intermediate diff and the total diff of the drilled ball quite a bit, so make sure you're paying attention to that. And as always, make sure you and your proshop operator work together to get an accurate PAP before you drill your ball. That's all the information I have on these two new releases from Radical. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you're liking and following my page, and share this video around. As always, I'll be making new videos as the new releases from the Brunswick family of products come out. So until next time, thanks for watching.